There we go. So I want to take you back. Did we discuss an accordion which would hide most of the text?
Yes, we did. I've had a quick, the developers have had their hands full with some projects that they're doing for me regarding Discogs integration. I told them that I can't do a phase 2 dev until they've completed that. It's been going on 3 months now. They need to sign that. I need to sign that off before we move on. But what we have penciled in for phase 2 is a carousel across the front. Now, Susie, I did mention to Susie, and she was going to see if she could send me what an accordion looked like.
Yeah.
But what we've got currently penciled in for phase 2 is a carousel. I mean, are the two completely different, or can you make them?
Right. Okay. The carousel, this is my opinion, is complete bullshit.
Right.
Right. Okay. So if you're selling stuff on an e-commerce website, you've got to have people's attention in 4 seconds. If it's almost like putting a YouTube video on there and saying, okay, now what you need to do is watch this video, but I've only just freaking got here. You know, I don't want to see something from the Arctic Monkeys when I'm here for David Bowie. So you've got no idea what your carousel is going to be serving to. My knee-jerk reaction is to say, can I swap that over? Can we have the accordion first and go down the line of the carousel later? Because you're distracting people. You've really just got to get straight into, where do you want to go next? Here it is. Okay, click, buy, basket, pay, done. So that's the 4-click rule, is you've got to buy something in 4 clicks. And then it's a 4-second rule. If you don't catch people's attention and tell them what to do next, they are going to bounce. And I'm guessing you know what a bounce is?
A bounce?
A bounce. Buying.
Oh right, bounce, sorry, yes. Yeah.
So for example, this is Paw Print, so they're a new one, and I rewrote their homepage. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of internal linking here.
Yeah.
So this is where I would say here you would be having the carousel. So here she's put one in here, look. So this is all of what we see on the front end, and it's only if you click read more that you get to see all of the other SEO content.
Yeah.
So this is the idea that I got.
Sorry to interrupt. In reality, a lot of people don't read it, do they?
No, they don't. The content is there for purely ranking purposes only. People don't want to read bullshit. They want to buy vinyl.
Yeah. And that's why how I've always thought it. And like, well, I don't know if you're signed up to our mailer, but we've just started our mailer now. Just a thing going out once a week, and we do like, there's like this week. This week's just announced. We've got what's out this Friday and our latest used stock. And I do this tiny little snippet, like just a quick sentence at the top of each thing. And that is how I see the whole site. Like, I mean, they just want a very quick snippet of, right, this is what's in this bit. Like you don't need to explain what's there.
Yeah.
So that's not the homepage. We're not in the homepage now, are we, on this Paw Print website?
No. So that's the homepage there.
Right. Yeah.
So they've got a lot, but they're the way that people are on this particular website, because it's new babies, and also we find the customers that are buying, like me, aren't parents, and we actually will need to read what the hell's going on to see how we order. And like I can say here, look, that the homepage hasn't changed from Mother's Day yet. Which the client can change, because she's actually quite a good developer herself. But she hasn't told me, but I know that she's forgotten that's there. So this kind of thing, is going to be up to date. But what I was hoping just to get today from you, if we can agree that we are going to have a small amount of content here, like one line, it doesn't matter what bullshit we've got underneath it.
Yeah.
So I can still write it to a certain degree, using Susie's content as a base, but I don't want. See, and again, it all circles back to what is it that you want to, want to target?
Yes, I mean the trouble. If you just go back to someone's just very quickly, Susie's content. There's a little bit. So I would say, for example, where was some of Susie's content there? Sorry, scroll down a little bit. because that you did that bit, didn't you? So
I did the
Caroline
blue,
was-
but yeah, she's all in the
yeah,
black.
so I mean, so, I don't know how to explain it, but like if you read what she's written, you don't. I don't know how to explain. No one speaks like that.
No, they don't. She has missed the mark, but I'm still mentoring her. So
Yeah, no. That's I'm not here to criticize. All I know is
I know.
that particular bit there is I can't have it on the website. That's all
Oh
I know.
no, God, no! I looked at it and I was cringing.
Yeah.
You know, it is. I can't believe that she's written vinyl records, on every single H fucking two. I mean, like, Jesus Christ Almighty, what are you doing, girl? Have you not listened to anything I've said in the last 24 months? So from my personal point of view, I'm disappointed that Susie went for this structured, almost like when you hire a blogger from overseas and you're paying them $5.
Yeah.
And it's almost like an AI has written it, or it's been spun.
The one thing that I will say is, and I've learned this, vinyl records, the community, the collecting, the music, they're just, not even vinyl records, but the whole music side of thing it's a quite a sticky subject to get into if you're not already in it. Do you know what I mean? To connect with the community, let's say. I hate that word. If you're not already in it, some of the stuff doesn't make any sense. Why would someone spend £500 on a record? It doesn't make sense to the average person, does it? So
it doesn't. What's the most expensive record you've bought?
Personally, bought to resell, or
anything really, I guess.
I've paid about €300 for a record for myself.
There you go.
I've bought I've paid £220 for a record to resell.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I don't get those figures because a lot of
and I'm not even talking about collectible stuff. In reality, I mean, stuff is going for thousands now.
No, I managed to get hold of because the original release of Groove Armada and Super Styling with a picture sleeve.
Right.
And that was just the first release, and everything else since then hasn't, it's not been repressed. And I had a copy, and I think I thought from my collection I had two copies, because if I see a record I like, I'll put one aside in my own personal collection. And I think I accidentally sold both of these records, and I was really pissed off. And I went down the line to a gig and I couldn't find it. And I think it was about 30 quid at that time. And, and the sticker on the front says $7.99.
Yeah.
And in fact, I played it on Saturday when we were out, when it was a birthday party. And I remember it as well. I was like, I've still got this record. It's so good. But I can understand, the hundreds of dollars or, pounds or stuff that you've spent. So in terms of the pricing on your website, is there anything that is above £100?
Not much. Funnily enough, we haven't actually got through to our more collectible stuff. Obviously the new release stuff isn't like that. But new release prices have gone up, maybe anywhere between £20 and £40 now. New release vinyl. But the most expensive record we've sold on the site is about 150 quid.
Right. Okay.
And the most expensive, but then we sold a Bowie box set for 300 quid, and a Rush box set that was 300. But that's the going rate. That is like that's the trade. That was the not trade price. That's the retail price.
Is that the new price? Sorry, a new pricing.
That is some of the. I mean, the some of the new box sets as well. These super, and the reason they get the price is because they do them quite limited. With the Rush, we had an allocation of 2. Now, if every shop in the UK only had 2, then the price, people are actually willing to pay it, because you can't get it anywhere else. So,
have you seen Rush live at all?
No, a little bit, just I can say a little bit before my time, as in getting into them properly.
Oh, come on. I mean, I saw them in the 90s in Sheffield. They did the tour then. And that's when I fell in love with Neil Peart. I was really annoyed when he went and popped his clogs. I mean, like, how selfish of you, man. You're really good.
Yeah.
Right. New and used vinyl records. So most of the 20 set up to £150. So if I'm talking about the £150 ones, are they the ones that are new release? Do you get anything of those on the used records?
Yeah, that'll be used stuff. So we're just working on some new used stuff at the moment. You see that Foo Fighters is 80 quid. Blue. We've got a new batch of 15, 20 going up shortly. Because of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes with the staff and that, getting people up to speed, we're really slow on the used at the moment. But I've got 10,000 records to list. So you know, in the fullness of time, the site will really have loads of content. It's just not there yet. We've got loads of. I've got loads of special treats for the website. I've got original Press Basement Jacks, KLFs. Got loads of interesting stuff. Bowie's, Pink Floyd's, Led Zeppelin's, Alice in Chains, loads of first press Oasis 12-inch. I know this sounds a bit crazy, but I didn't want to flood the site with it when there was no one looking at it. So now we've got to the point where we're going to be starting to be listing some of this like slightly rarer, more interesting stuff. You know, we've got a few hundred people on a mailing list and all that sort of thing. And yeah, there'll be some more interesting and rarer stuff going up. I mean, we've got a couple of rare box sets, and we've got a couple of box sets here that have values of
so today
and stuff.
I think today's session, I want to take it in stages. So number one would be for both of us right now is to have and agree on how many words are going to be before the accordion, before the read more.
But what? So I googled accordion, and that didn't even get me anything. Just got the. So when you talk about an accordion, what do you mean by that? What is it exactly you mean?
This bit here, read more.
Just that is what you call an accordion, and then
because it obviously it expands, And then and the other one that well, when I worked at Funky Pigeon, they called it a concertina.
All right.
So I've been talking to people about concertina, and then in fact it was a Paw Prince lady who's into her programming, and she said, oh well, we call it an accordion. Well, I suppose a concertina and an accordion is the same thing. So it literally means read more. So this is the visual things that we can see on the front end. But Google can read on search engines, all search engines could read the stuff because it's actually in the HTML. So,
yeah, you know, I'm with you. I get it makes a little bit more sense now. I mean, for example, sorry, if you could just pop to Digging Records and then go to, I don't know, new or used records, whatever. Well, you're on the page.
I'm on used,
So like how I've got it there, you would have a little interesting snippet and then read more.
Yeah, read more there.
And that's as simple as that. And then you'd want that for every page.
Yeah. So that kind of, I don't want this shit, vinyl cover, collecting vinyl records, that. But I get where you're coming from with that. And no offense was taken, but it kind of gives us the leeway that we can bash out some SEO content with not worrying about it because people aren't going to read it.
Yeah.
But what I don't want to do in case they do press read more, that you've got one of the best bits of vinyl is the cover art, you know, just these little insipid things. Oh, and just a little aside as well, because we had 3 DJs on a Saturday. I went out for the in-laws for breakfast on the Sunday, and 3 of them there, 2 of Fred's sisters and also Fred's mum, who's 90, were saying, oh, last night was really good. Did you know that vinyl's making a comeback? And I nearly strangled one of his sisters. I was like, this is what really pisses me off. You know that people don't know Jack when they're saying to you, oh, vinyl's making a comeback, because it makes me want to slap your face.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, that is what some of that text copy made it feel like. It felt like that, as I said it before, and I don't dwell on it, but you know, it felt like when you read an article in the Guardian and it says vinyl's making a comeback, and then it gives you some pointless spiel about vinyl making a comeback to the person who has, you know, it's like they're reading that article, and it was painful I couldn't have it on the website.
No, so here we go. This is my bit then. I've just sent you a link to your Gmail, lovedigitalrecords@gmail.com, so you can now join the same page if you don't want to look at my shared screen. But this is where I've got the read more for the accordion. And this was my take on the homepage.
But then where on the homepage would that be?
Well, there we go. So home, ideally.
Because, I mean, at the moment, right, if I'm completely honest with you, what we've got penciled in, nothing's been signed off yet. But what we've got penciled in is, rather than this recent releases to check out, up there is a carousel, and it puts in like, we'll have our and each link is to collections. So it's not to the carousel will be pre-orders, latest stock, do you know what I mean? And so whatever sale item, whatever it is, so and then something we can flip, and it will just be basically just to show our collections a bit better. So the carousel is for collections, not for specific items, unless we've got some super hot item release of the week or something.
Start doing, well, this is where I'd argue with you from a kind of a UX point of view, because as I said, you're actually just shouting into the void here, because you've got no idea, whoever's looking at your homepage, what their style of music is or what they're looking for. You don't know whether they're looking for posters, CDs, used, new, collectors, new things like that. So instead of serving random things that, you know, the mathematics behind actually serving something is the one that they want. You've only got 5 out of what, you know, 10,000 on site. The chances of somebody looking at this and buying it from the carousel is so mathematically remote, it's not really worth considering.
No, but exactly. No, but this is what I'm saying. So we're replacing what you're looking at now with a carousel, and the carousel will have collections, and there'll be more general collections. It'll be, you know, it will have, you know, it'll be like, it will take you to pre-orders.
But again, the word carousel means it's still going to be spinning.
Yeah.
Will it be in motion, or do you have to get your mouse and spin it like that?
No. It'll be like one of the motion ones.
Right. Okay. So people have got less time, so it's distracting. You're on the homepage already, and you're getting distracted by this moving thing at the top. I'm thinking about money. If you want to convert to money, if you don't tell people what to do next, Google can't read images, and to fair, the human eye really does see the pretty pictures, but you get distracted if you don't tell somebody where to click. So to answer your previous question, where is the SEO content going to go? It really should go, let's call it the carousel for now, directly underneath the carousel. And so then this would appear. So you'll have your read more, you'll have your one sentence here, then the read more, and then you'll have this. However, again, none of this is actually sales content. You're saying, by the way, before you go any further, we want you to read about our eco-friendly packaging, we buy your records, rewards point, and then a £5 all-you-can-eat shipping. That's still 2 seconds of my brain's time. And all I want to do is buy out, you know, Pop will eat itself.
Yeah.
So my take on the carousel wouldn't be products. You could have the carousel if you want it. You know, I'm not talking you out of it. I'm saying from a e-commerce money in your pocket point of view, that should be lower. But what I would like to see is almost like squares of directing people where to go next. So when you go to the homepage, so you've got, I wouldn't put all records. It would be new records, used records, pre-orders.
So sorry, if you scroll down a little bit, you're talking just simply like, if you scroll below that, and then you've got like sort of those squares, which all of this needs to be tied up. I mean, much like your previous website, it's got stuff that's out of date. It's so hard to keep stuff up to date.
No, I know.
I mean, I mean, so I get it, but I mean, I want all those images changed. I want that text changed. The to-do list is endless. So.
But I mean, you know, from an aesthetic point of view, you know, I get that completely. But the other thing is that this is like buying a page on a newspaper. Now, when I used to work in newspaper print, you know, let's just say we're looking at £3,000 for one newspaper page in full colour. So what you've got on that newspaper page there, and you're paying £3 for an advert, and you've got these 3 massive images and then a violent clearance sale, you're actually taking up prime property here. You're still not telling people to click where to buy, where to navigate, where to go next. It's fundamentally preventing you from getting a through flow of traffic to deeper on your site. So as I said about the bounce rate, if people can't find what they want on landing in 4 seconds, they're going to bugger off and go somewhere else and back to Google search. So in terms of slapping people around the face with a wet fish, for example, just run with this because it's seat of my pants stuff. So you've got the 5 boxes there. This is where I would have some, and I'm wondering if it's similar, not similar. Please don't take the piss out of my website. Okay, so little things like this, they all kind of look the same, but it makes the eyes read what it is. And that kind of thing. I'm not saying that identical for you. I'm not saying stock images per se. I actually quite like this. So you could have 4 of them that are black boxes, but with, you know, this bit, which would be used records or new releases. And then obviously the one at the end is going to be the red sale one. So automatically, from a human eyes point of view, you've got black, 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 telling you what you want to sell. And then you've got sale there. Now, automatically,
I wonder if you could, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. I wonder, and you've just, you know, doing stuff like this makes you think on the fly. I wonder if you could make it look like, so they were like record racks.
Oh,
so like, and then, you know, you could, I don't know, we want to flick through them, but if you could do some kind of aesthetic so they look like that it was a, you know, record, you know, records,
yeah,
sort of thing, record covers, and then they would be, do you know what I mean? Are you with me?
yeah.
So
I'm just going to see if I can find it on Google Images. It's my favorite image of all time. Yeah, that one there. I love human traffic, and I love this kind of thing where you got them in the racks in the background, because it makes you stop the video and go, oh, I have that one, or I you know, I've got that one, or I have that, but it wasn't on defected, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's just aside. But yeah, so everything that you've got, you have designed from a developer point of view, and also it's very pretty and its functionality and the navigation is fine. Everything is fine. But Justin, it's just fine. It's not slapping me.
But I know that's why there is a phase 2 going to happen. We already know that. So this was like a get it off the ground, like get something working, and then already, there's already so much I don't like. I don't like the top bit. There's plenty I don't like. So,
but I just want to be really forceful and just get it through to you. I feel how strong it is not to have a carousel and to have static images at the top. Because
okay,
also,
I'll have to sit down and speak with the developers, because I have to say the developers were the guys who were like, they were the ones that suggested it and gave me a whole bunch of reasons why to do it.
Of course they would, because they're developers. They love flashy things. They love, you know, beautiful looking websites that are striking, and do fancy things like a carousel. But I'm not a developer. I'm the one that's giving you money in your pocket. And I'm saying, years ago when WordPress, 15 years ago when WordPress was bringing out all these templates, every single one of them had got a slider on the top. When I was first building my website on WordPress, I could not find a theme that I could disable the slider on the homepage. It was like for 15 years, everybody had a slider on the homepage. And us SEOs were just burying his heads in his hands going, what the actual living, whose fashion is this? You know? So
I'm with you. The thing is that what they might like, and they're quite a creative bunch, because they're like a, you know, they're an agency, but they've been working with a few different things. They're gonna, if you know, if I can, you know, might be able to come to some middle ground with the whole record rack or something like that. We could come up with something. It's like all these things. If my full-time job was to work on the homepage, I'd come up with something really good. But you know, every now and then I think about it and think, oh shit, I wish I'd done that. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. That's the reality of it. So
it is. But I just want to say is that if your prime position, so for example, going back to newspaper print, you had to pay extra for a right-hand page. It was 25% extra. So your £3,000 just turned into £3,000 plus 25%. Because that's a prime space. And if you've got this prime space on the right hand side and the very top is just images, and actually I don't even know what you do, because you say recent releases you need to check out, you know, it doesn't actually say it's obviously records has got the vinyl thing, but from some human eyes you're going to look at this and say, is this CDs, is this records? Obviously that is, which is why we need the introductory text. But and again, something for stupid people in terms of your record racks and what is it, click to visit, what are you here for, ask a question, why are you here, what are you here for, are you looking to sell your records, do you want to buy records, do you want to pre-order? Oh, and that was the other thing while I'm doing all of that, so I'm just going to put down there record racks, okay, and then question slider at the top. I've got a couple of friends that I actually would say I'm not going to say them anything about this conversation. What I would say to both of these guys is, can I have your view on this homepage? So I'm not going to give them any insider information. And so I can pass on that honest feedback to you from other website owners. Question Slido. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's circle back again then. So that first sentence.
Yeah. I mean, which is the sentence that you think is for the homepage? That one.
But this is what I was hoping to nail today, because obviously all of this is fluid and whatever you think. You see, I like that bit, but that's bullshit.
One of the things, and do not get me wrong, the developer said you need an SEO content for your homepage. You can't leave it blank. And I said, I don't want any text on the homepage. No one fucking gives a shit. They just want to come and look at records.
Yeah.
So that's my view on it. I'm not an idiot enough to follow my view, otherwise I'd never get anything done. But like, that's how I feel about it, because I think that's the reality of the situation. So the sentence that is there has to be special.
Okay, then
to sign it off. Because
why are you here? Which also questions themselves. We buy pre-loved records, or you can pre-order new releases and limited editions, box sets and CDs. Do you want to promote posters in that first bit?
Yeah, well, we've got so many posters as well. Yeah,
right, okay.
I mean, there are big things at the moment, but
yeah. Browse our posters and items in the sale. Remember to sign up. So the newsletter needs to be pushed for the newsletter. Where can I find that on the home? Where can I find that on the website? Is it only there?
And it's a pop-up on the second page. You should have got a pop-up.
Oh, I don't know. Let me just hit. Where's your contact?
I'll get again. The sign-up process to the newsletter is to be redesigned.
Yeah. Okay. So one idea was to put it on the contact form.
Okay.
Because then I can actually link to the contact form, rather than saying, okay, so what you need to do now is to scroll right to the bottom of the homepage, and then at the bottom in the footer is the little sign up box. What I'd like is just to give people, click this link, join up to the newsletter.
Okay, so I mean, what I'm thinking, the way that you work and the way you see all this working is obviously there's linking to other parts of the website and all that sort of thing. I mean, in reality, I will assign myself a half day, a day, and then we focus on it, Nina. You know, I'm just juggling so much. It's not the sort of thing I can squeeze in a half hour. So what we'll do is I will assign myself, you know, I'd say a day, even if it's a half day, a day, or whatever it may be, and it's just like, right, all I'm doing is this, and we'll get this sorted properly.
Okay, so we can't actually add in their newsletters just yet. Okay. And then content
page. I mean, a couple of the bits. Sorry, I keep calling Susie Nina.
That's all right.
So that's what you get for her being a protege. There was a couple of pages where she was like, okay, because she's like, I can see what you're trying to get at. I think it was the a pointless page, like either the postage and packaging page, or one of those pages that's got a little bit of info on it. And she said, oh right, I can see what like my tone of voice I was aiming for.
Yeah,
it was one of the pages, and then she was like, okay, like you sort of nailed it on that page. And unfortunately, might have been like that sort of page where it's just simple bit of text, but then that's easy. That there's nothing SEO there. That's just easy content, and it can be a tiny bit more Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's not about it not being formal, but there's just even. Do you know what I mean? It just.
Yeah, I know. I really get it, because I really get it. I don't want to explain any further, but yeah, I totally get it. So I just want to put, so how would you put in your words to say, so is it a £5 flat shipping fee for all
Yes.
orders in the UK?
Well, no, this has been tricky. So it's
Okay, can I-
£5. £5. I know the developers want me to make it free shipping, so they're like, yeah, because we get loads of abandoned checkout, but new vinyl is tiny little shrimpy profit margins as it is.
Yeah.
So I can't do free shipping, I'm afraid. Hardly anybody does free shipping. So what we've come up with is it's done by weight, because that's how I've been guided by Discogs, and it makes it complicated. I need to make a resolution on that. I know I'm boring you with this shit, but it has bothered me. The way at this moment in time, it's done by weight. If something's 500 grams or below, yeah, it's free. If something's 1,000 grams or below, is £3.50, and if it's over 1,000 grams, it's £5. So
Yeah.
basically what that means is, if they buy one item, it's going to cost them £3.50, £7.50, sorry. If it's basically what that more or less means, if it's one album, it's going to cost them £3, and then they can go to town, and we do have people buying a lot, and it's just £5.
Right. Okay.
So obviously there was this thing of just making it £5, but then that makes someone buying the one record that tiny bit more expensive. So I was trying to find a middle ground. £3.50 is cheap tracked vinyl shipping, I can assure you.
Yeah.
It's one of the cheapest out there. Like, hardly anyone is doing it that cheap. But at the same time, some of the big guys do free shipping over £100 or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is what we've ended up with. If you can think of a better, clearer way to
Okay, so here we go then. UK delivery up to 25 kilo is £5, or for one record is £3.50 shipping.
Yeah.
And then I've put UK delivery there. So all of these are going to be links as well.
Okay.
Okay, so I've mentioned posters that you buy. I've mentioned CDs, posters, and the sale.
Vinyl records somewhere, I guess.
Oh, that's stating the bleeding obvious now, Justin.
Well, I thought you wanted to put it for, I thought that was an SEO thing.
Yeah. But this would be, that's in the body text, but the most important thing of all is going to be the H1 on the homepage. That's going to say vinyl records, because like, have I shown you SEO Roam before?
SEO Roam.
Will you do this for me? Can you, in fact, I need to hang up because I only get 40 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
So can you call me back? Or just stay in the...
Can I do that?
So if I